We thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Cece. I come from Essassani. How may I assist you further with your questions and dialogue?
Hi, C. Thank you so much for coming. I deeply appreciate you take the time and the energy to meet me. I'm so delighted. Thank you so much.
It is our pleasure, of course, to connect with you.
Okay, my first question is I know I have my soul has ET origin, and I'm aware of that I have a counterpart on a UFO, on a spacecraft. I'm curious to know a bit more what my ET nature is, if I'm an ET hybrid, as in mixed race ET and human, or like my ET counterpart, where from, and how do I look?
Yes, we would be more than happy to shed some light on this idea for you. Just remember that you are all, from the human perspective, you are all hybridized. Your DNA has been changed throughout time, and this does encompass many of the different races. And your specific connections that you have are going to be with what you would call the Pleiadian energy structure. You have connections to the Sasani as well as the Yael. And you do have small connections to what you know as the Gray civilization. Specifically, the counterpart in which you are referring to, this is going to be a counterpart that you are experiencing connection with. This is going to be from the Yael civilization. And in this particular counterpart that you are describing or you have mentioned, you have several, but this one in particular that we are picking up on is going to be a female type counterpart in the Yael civilization. She does do some exploration and observations in specific areas, but also does work with the hybrid children. Her name, let's see if we can get a name for you. One moment. Awar. Awore. This is the name that she refers herself to. And she does have what you would call a humanoid type face with the larger almond shaped eyes and long, what you know as curls in her hair, and it is somewhat of a golden color to her hair.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I think I can see her and sense her. Um,
Yeah, she's
so
working with you on many different levels of your awareness. She is starting to incorporate different types of contact for you in terms of they may be subtle and you may not be completely aware at first, but over time you will start to recognize and understand the vibration a little bit clearly.
Wonderful. I've had visions where I'm on board like a big mothership, where I'm so walking around, and I feel I got the feeling that I was teaching hybrid children. But was that my counterpart doing it, or was it myself doing it?
This was yourself doing it as you are. You were moving in the astral plane in your dream state, and you were communicating different ideas that you have, that you are assisting and integrating with the hybrid children so they are aware what it's like on your planet. So you were working in a bridge that kind of way as a guidance or a teacher.
Yes, I had a feeling I was some kind of a kindergarten teacher.
In a sense, you are working with the younger ones in assisting them and their way of viewing the world, and you were giving a different perspective for them to understand the vibrational aspects of where you are coming from and these specific lessons in which you can carry to teach them at a young age.
My ET counterpart, Aore, I think I pronounced it. something like that. How does she dress? What type of clothes does she wear?
She wears what you know as a bodysuit. This bodysuit is more of a technological type gear. So this allows her to change her different structure to blend in with your environment and within her own environment. So she does make her way to what you know as the earth realm here. In this particular parallel earth, she does use this suit to almost as if she can camouflage herself in different ways in different environments.
Okay, wonderful. Because for a while I've been feeling an urge to wear more suit-like clothes, and I've had the feeling that that would sort of fit me better.
You are tapping into that vibrational aspect of her, and you can start to use these different permission slips if it does allow you to connect deeper with her, and it might allow you to start to use what you know as the future self meditation. Are you familiar with this meditation in which Bashar speaks of?
I know different types of future self meditations, but I don't know his specifically.
Well, this will allow you to encompass when you look inside of the mirror in this particular meditation, you are connecting with yourself, but you are seeing this future version of yourself, however you would connect to this particular vibration. When you see your future self in the mirror in front of you, you start to take in that vibration. You start to feel, you allow yourself to feel as if you are walking in this particular direction, that you are expressing yourself in a similar way. And through this type of meditation, it works as a gateway, a permission slip. Then when you go throughout your daily process, being mindful on whether or not you are expressing yourself in the way that your future self would express herself. And when you are in the meditation, you are able to perceive these ideas. And they may come at subtle at first during the meditation, but it will start to be more relevant for you. It'll be more expanding, more available in that way.
Wonderful. How exciting.
Yes, very exciting times for you and for collective.
And then I have a question, the sort of all-pervading question. Do I have hybrid children myself? I have a feeling I don't, but do I have that?
You do have several hybrid children. You have what you know as the number 23.
Number 23?
Yes, this is correct.
What is that?
You do not necessarily have had awareness of their contact experience in which you have specifically been in contact with them. The more you become aware of your ability to shift into that particular awareness and accept what is that's coming to you, you will start to regain more of your memories and connections with these hybrid children.
Okay, can you please elaborate on what number 23 means?
You have 23 hybrid children.
Oh wow. How many of them male and how many is female?
1 moment. You have 11 that is female, and you have 12 which is male.
Right. And what is the age range? What is the oldest and the youngest in human Earth years?
Your oldest hybrid child is about 15 or 16 years in human years, and the youngest is going to be about 2 of your human years.
Wow. I would love to awaken more to those memories.
By just placing this intention and being aware that you have the ability to receive the necessary downloads as they come in memories. The more you are open to this, again, you will receive this, but simply placing the intention, you will receive the information you are requesting.
Are they all Yael raised?
No, they are a mixture. As they are your hybrid children, they do have a mixture of your DNA, but they also have different DNA clusters. So we cannot explain each and every single one in terms of which ones they have connections with, but we can name a few. Specifically, you have some hybrid children that have a cluster of what you know of Arcturus as well as Sirius energies. And you have some that have what you know as Sasani and Yael as well. And this is just to name a few.
So these children, is there, are we only two parents to create each child, or are several adults?
There are several different DNAs going into the process of creating these children, but there is a good amount of your DNA, and this is why we say they are your hybrid children.
Right. Do any of them wish to talk to me, say something to me?
One moment while we scan the energy available to see if there is a hybrid child that might be able to come through the channel. Hi.
Hi. What is your name?
My name is Abel. A-B-E-L. Abel.
Are you male or female?
I am boy.
How old are you?
I am 7.
I love you.
I love you. Mom, we create different types of art on the ship together. We make dinosaurs and different types of dragons. We draw together.
Yes.
And it is a lot of fun to be able to create different stories with you.
Yes, when I was 7 years old, I enjoyed playing with dinosaurs very much.
Yes, you told me about them, and I thought they were so fascinating. I would like to meet a dinosaur. Do you think I can meet a dinosaur?
Of course you can. Time doesn't exist, so you just go there in consciousness.
How exciting! Maybe you can come with me and we can play with the dinosaurs and connect with them.
Yes, let's go ride dinosaurs.
I like the Stegosaurus. That's my favorite.
Yes. I like the Triceratops.
Oh, he's big.
He's big. Is there anything else you would like to share with me?
Well, we can play in the dream time, but I can remind you that to play now in your awareness where you are at in your physical structure. Take some time to play like adults play. Because when you are playing, you are tapping into your connection with me and all the other hybrid children. We want you all in your world to play more because it is sad when we see that people are not playing, and we want you to play, Mom, so play.
Yes, I promise you I will play more.
Okay.
Do you know when when you will come to physical Earth?
No, I do not know because we are not allowed to tell you, disclose that information because we are unclear of the exact date. We do not want to mislead you. But remember, I am always with you, and so are the other siblings. We are with you always. So you just have to call on us, and we will be there.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to hold you in my arms.
Yes. Well, you do hold me when we have our interactions, so I will never forget.
Thank you so much, honey, for coming and share
Yes.
all this
Good
with
night.
me. Okay, is there any one of the other siblings that would like to come forth?
We thank you so much for that interaction. We can scan the energy to see if there are any other children that might be able to come through the channel. One moment. Hi, Mom.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Sophia.
Hi, Sophia. How old are you?
I am 12.
Wow, Sophia, what do you like to do?
I like to dance.
Yes.
I like to dance and I like to paint. These are some of the things I have learned on the ship and interacting with different humans. I have learned how to tap into my natural expressions. This is part of my excitement.
Part of your what?
Excitement.
Excitement, yes. Dancing is very exciting.
What is your excitement?
Dancing.
Wow. Well,
Yes.
we can dance together on the ship.
Yes.
The next time you come and visit, we can
Yes.
dance together.
Yes, Sophia, we will.
How fun, how exciting.
Sophia, what do you like to paint?
Oh, I like to paint different vibrations that I hear from music. So I take the vibrations that I hear and then I paint them. And I paint them in different ways. So sometimes I will paint a dog to hear a certain sound, or a bird, or maybe even a shape. These are some of the things I like to paint, but I also like to paint different parts of your world. So I like to take snapshots of your world, like for example, there are places on your planet that are exciting to me to look at, and then I take that and then I paint that in my own interpretation of that world, of that area in your world.
Mm. I look forward to see your paintings.
Yes, well, you have seen them, you just don't remember.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
But you will remember if you start to be aware. And we are having this conversation, so this sets up the stage for you to be able to remember more of your contact with me.
Yes, I feel you very strongly. Yes, both of you. Yeah. What do you like to paint on the ship from your world?
Well, mainly, I like to paint different vibrations when I am on the ship. So it just depends on my feeling of excitement, what I feel like doing, but sometimes I may have painted my brother a couple of times, but I did not necessarily feel that it was a portrait of him. It was more or less vibrations that I received energetically, and I put them on my canvas.
Okay. Is it Abel? Is that your brother? Is Is it him
Is
or is it
one
one of the
of the
others?
siblings, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you for coming through. We'll stay in contact.
Yes, we will see each other really soon.
I look forward to that, honey.
I love you.
I love you too. Can we continue with the questions?
We thank you so much for allowing us to continue. Yes, you may go ahead with your questions and dialogue.
Okay, wow. And it's related to my own sort of hybridization. So yes, all humans are hybridized, but I have this strange feeling that my mother, whom I did not know really, but I have had this sort of awareness that she might have been in contact with extraterrestrials, and that makes me wonder, was my DNA tweaked while I was in my mother's womb?
Yes, as many of you humans and what you would call precursors. Not all humans are precursors, but the ones that are open and more aware, more receptive to contact experiences, people that work specifically with different civilizations on different levels. They are what you would call precursors. They work specifically without even realizing they're working on those around them. So, in a sense, your mother did experience a contact which was more what you would call astral, but there was some DNA structures that were implanted inside of her, inside of you exactly, and this allowed certain types of DNA to form in the body. And during your process, during your journeys, during your contact experiences, many of them have what you call activated.
Okay, yes. That 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 gives me so much clarity because I always felt a little different than than sort of a human. A speech about precursors. I felt it really resonated.
Yes.
So yes, thank you so much for this confirmation that I am one of the precursors. I'm just only now sort of awakening to that
Yes, and as you
knowledge that is
as
why.
you
Sorry. Yes, you just talk.
as you move forward in your reality, you will start to gain more awareness in what this actually means for you in terms of your experiences with those around you and also your contact experiences. But yes, you have this particular DNA structure.
The DNA structure, how does it differ? Is it a bit more silica based, or how is it different from sort of the general human structure?
One moment. In a sense, you could say this, but it's very challenging to place in words with the channel's vocabulary, but we will do our best. There are different types of DNA structure in terms of how it appears physically. Certain types of DNA structure has allowed certain beings to encompass certain types of body, and also the awareness in the memory bank. And these particular DNA strands are different. They're fabricated differently than what you would call the human DNA. So, in terms of what you would call silica based, yes, some of them are more silica based. This is correct, but it is much more than that, and it is challenging to explain this with the channel's vocabulary. But imagine, in a sense, different shapes, different vibrations with these particular DNA structures. And They are very different than what you would call the human DNA. They have many different cells that have many different memories that are stored that are part of the civilization. So once it is activated, it creates these memories and connections to these particular civilizations.
Okay. I have established a UFO contact organization called C5 Copenhagen. And with that organization, it's about 2 years old now. We have done many UFO contact events, C5 events, and had many great sightings. So it has mostly been light ships and one sort of 3D metal one. So the ships we've seen, from which civilizations were they from?
Many of the ships that you had come in contact with were part of the Yael.
Okay.
And there were a few of what you would know as the Gray civilization, but most of these ships that you had come in contact with were part of the Yael.
Right. We did one in the month of August 2019 where we saw a very clear light ship, and I had a strong sensation that that was Grace. Is that correct?
Yes. In terms
Right.
of your contact experiences, we'd like to share with you a few ideas. Now, with contact experiences, it's not always going to be physically visible with the naked eye. Sometimes different contact experiences are happening in a more astral level and a more connection-based level. So you may experience different downloads, different frequencies. There may be sacred geometry that you may be aware of. There may be words that you hear in the mind. You may experience an open-hearted feeling. You may be able to perceive those around you. There may be beings that are walking within the perimeter in which you are doing this particular event. So just become more aware of these instances and have those in the group share their experiences, even if it was not something they saw with the naked eye, because you will find that many of these particular humans that have these experiences are going to have similar experiences.
Yes. What would it require? What frequency or what intention should I put in to invite the spacecraft to land? I mean, besides that intention, is there anything energetically or ritually or intentionally I can do to make that happen?
Well, there are different parts of this that we will share with you. Depending on the group dynamic, there are many people that still have a lot of fear deep inside of them. And with this fear, this will not allow the ships to come closer, because this will cause what you would call a psychotic shock. Their inability to be able to withstand the high vibration and high frequency due to the pushing or purging of the energy that's not in alignment with themselves. This will surface for them. And so we are very cautious when it comes to landing a ship or coming even close, because this does pose a threat for some of the people inside of these groups. So allowing yourself to be open, allowing yourself to be free from fear, and allowing yourself to be able to accept the different contact experiences. And the more you are accepting to these, and the more you are not fear-based in your group, and we are not meeting you, of course, we are meeting anybody in the group, because this is a collective base. So when you have these groups, you are collectively calling out for a ship to show themselves, make themselves available to you. And they may be not coming closer because of the collective energy, because even if you are not fear-based and more than half of the group is fear-based and they may not even be aware of it, it may be something that is deep inside of them, and this will allow itself to be shown more and more when these ships get closer. And they will pull back a little bit and give space if they are sensing deep fear. So taking an honest self-discernment on any limiting beliefs or any fearful beliefs, this can help in the process of the group dynamic. So we can recommend an idea to you. You are having these groups of people to create these events, maybe start having them do workshops in terms of removing limiting beliefs, in terms of facing different fears within themselves in different sorts of ways. This way, this will allow themselves to be more of a clear channel. So if the ship does choose to land, and we understand the intention is already there. If this ship does choose to get closer or land, they will be able to do so because they will not be fearful or they will not be concerned that the people in the group may experience harm to them, because that is the last thing that we would like to do.
Exactly. The same. I feel the same. That's the last thing I would have happened. Yes, wonderful. A long time ago, I was planning on doing the workshop. I did one workshop, and yeah, I think I'm gonna pick that up again. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be very beneficial for your experiences.
Yeah. I'm curious to know. So the Bashar, he talks about within the human vibration field, the cycles per second or hertz. How many cycles per second or how many hertz should a person vibrate on in order for ETs to be attracted to landing?
Well, in a sense, this is not only just about vibration. This is about the collective vibration. So, in terms of the particular vibration in which the ETs, if, for example, if this was just you standing out there and you were making yourself available to be able to have a physical contact experiences, we would say that there is a range in which we would prefer the vibration to be at, so this can ensure there are no psychic shock to the body or the mind. We can say anywhere between 213,000 to 263,000.
230 to 263,000.
That's correct.
Okay. What is my vibration? What is my current? What is operating sort of nowadays? What is my highest vibration? What is my lowest vibration?
Well, we can share with you the lowest vibration is going to be 167, and the highest vibration is going to be roughly around 199 to 201.
Okay. What can I do to get up to in the 290s where the Sasani is
ensuring that we are experiencing technical difficulties. We are losing the connection. It seems it is very spotty.
Okay, I will repeat slowly. What can I do, or how long will it take for me to increase my vibration to the 290s, the level of Sasanis?
We will not be able to give you a necessary time for this particular process, but we can share with you that in order to raise the vibration, you can start by redirecting the focus on different parts of yourself that you may have any sort of limiting beliefs. because the beliefs is what prevents you from moving into a higher density or higher vibration.
Okay. Okay. The hybrid children, which vibration are they on?
You do not have this information. It is not available at this time.
Okay. I would like to work with the hybrid children on Earth. I know my son Abel said that they are not allowed to share, or was it my daughter Sophia? One of them shared that they were not allowed to say a time because it wasn't fully planned out. But if I would, yeah, I already got the answer. If I want to prepare myself, okay, I just go in
Continue to follow your
meditation.
excitement. Continue to follow your excitement with no insistence on the outcome and remove any limiting beliefs. Through this process, you will start to become more and more in a higher vibration state, which will then allow the synchronicities to align for you to have more contact experiences. In terms of when the hybrid children will be able to be integrated within your collective, this is not going to be for quite some time, and there is not an exact date for this integration to take place. And this is why the child was not able to provide this information.
Right, right. Um,
But you can connect with them on various different ways through your dream state or through a telepathy kind of way where you are tapping into the vibration by sending love messages to your hybrid children. And by being open to receive the messages in return, you will be able to have a dialogue with them.
Wonderful. Um, uh, is someone I know also involved with hybrid children? As in, what I mean is co-parenting with someone of my friends. Do we have children together?
No.
All right.
They may have their own hybrid children, but if you are meeting a male, then most of the time, most of the males on your planet are not necessarily involved with the hybrid children. And they would not necessarily have that type of connection where we use the DNA structure from the male in your society and with your particular DNA structure. So there is not co-parenting in that sort of way. Now, you may have a friend that has hybrid children, yes, and even some males have hybrid children, but not many. And so your friend may have them, but it is not something that is also yours, if that makes sense.
yeah, that was what I was wondering. I think I've run out of questions.
And what is the time remaining for the transmission?
We've only gone into half an hour. So is there anything you would like to share, some information for me?
Allow yourself to tap deeper into your excitement by becoming more aware of the things that are guiding you. There are many different types of, you could say, spirits that are guiding you, such as medicine spirits, such as plant spirits. You have many different ancestors from your lineage working with you now, specifically guiding you into several different types of directions. But allow yourself to experience your excitement within your heart center by simply tapping into this vibration and using it in each moment to allow yourself to unfold in each moment which direction is more exciting. The more you can do this, the more exciting things will become available to you, and you will start to become more aware of your purpose and your mission, and deeper connections with being what you would call a first contact specialist, because this is what you do on this world, and this is what your direction is. So you will start to become more aware of that. You have a counterpart in Sasani that is also a first contact specialist. It will be female. We can attempt to access the vibration, but we will not be able to promise a connection. One moment. She is communicating to us that she is preferring that you contact her directly as you are starting to become more aware of different contact experiences, and you as being an ambassador and a first contact specialist yourself, she is referring you to start to tap into that vibration. So we can share with you an idea that she has shown us, which is what you know as the animal, the hawk spirit. And she is showing us this, so this is a way in which you can start to directly communicate. There is somewhat of a shamanic type connection, it seems, between the two of you that can allow the energy to work in different ways for your contact experience with her and to receive different types of messages.
Yes, that feels so right on so many levels.